So now let's hear a little bit from some folks who are some of those visionaries, some of the folks who had not just the vision, but the courage to work through a challenge, but with the vision that through standards they could create product choice and differentiation and improve the marketplace for their customers. I'd like to invite up Sam and Matt from Doorify MLS.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Matt Nagy, one of the many Matts that we collect at Doorify MLS. To all you sales guys in the room, I hear it on your voice when you call me and you realize that I'm the other Matt. So I just feel that, right? So, hi, I'm Matt with Doorify MLS, formerly known as Triangle MLS. So many of you have seen us throughout the years at this conference. I've attended this conference since the beginning of my tenure at Triangle. I've been here 16 years this year, starting as the IT director, moving up to VP of Technology, and now VP of Engineering.
And I'm Sam Pawloski, one of the many Sams in the industry, but not commonly mistaken. I've been with Doorify MLS for about 5 years now. I started out in tech support, and now I serve as a business analyst. Today, we wanted to talk through our implementation of the front end of choice model, which was recently highlighted in the RESO white paper, Accelerating Product Choice Through Standards.
Just a note from our marketing team, but Doorify's vision really is to become a cost-effective, rules-based, agile MLS ecosystem powered by data standards and giving our customers choice. So, like Sam said, this was a huge undertaking to bring MLS choice to our marketplace. And we wanted to talk about some of the motivating factors behind this. We really wanted to lean into giving our customers choice to give them flexibility in bringing their own differentiating factors to the market. So, again, this was a 2-year-long project. It was the biggest endeavor we've ever done, really. So if you think about it, from planning to implementation to rollout, over 2 years of effort went into this. We had a lot of risks in our model before. We were dependent on a single vendor, like many of you are. That created risk for the organization and also limited our growth in our marketplace. We're a regional MLS located right in the middle of North Carolina, serving about 14,000 subscribers. So we have fringes on our marketplace that we needed to start looking at. Again, we lacked standardization. We needed to be plug and play. We didn't have a lot of flexibility to bring on new products into our marketplace quickly. Like many onboardings or conversions, it took time, it took effort. And with limited staff and kind of limited mobility, we were stuck in a single position. And we also just realized we needed to modernize, to scale, and adapt to changing business needs.
There were also other events that were occurring outside of our control. The COVID-19 buying spree, legal challenges in the industry, and just economic changes. This emphasized the need for more data sharing, consolidation, and most importantly, interoperability between platforms. It became crucial as agents and brokers needed seamless and accurate data quickly and across multiple platforms, both in the MLS and outside the MLS. However, our lack of standardization was not allowing us to accomplish this very easily. And we realized that listings that were entered in our MLS were not actually reaching public sites with accurate data. And this led to our core principle when implementing these changes. So we wanted to be prepared. We wanted to be prepared whether the future brought a new consolidation, a new data share, a collaboration, or an integration. The MLS would have the technology foundations to support its vision.
So when we considered in the planning phases of this project early on, we had a couple of approaches that we could kind of use. One of them was considered as a phased approach, picking a property type at a time, converting that data set to RESO standard, pushing those standard changes out through the database and out through the feeds. That created it reduced the amount of friction for our subscribers and gave them an option to absorb the change at a measured pace. But when we started planning this out and talking about it in detail, we realized it was going to create a waterfall effect that was going to be spread out over multiple years for the downstream vendors. So that would be constant field changes, constant data structure changes for downstream systems. And we realized that was probably not the most efficient method. So then we started thinking about a full back-end conversion, and we realized that was going to be a better approach. Kind of do the work, put in the hard work, rip off the Band-Aid, and then move forward. That gave us the ability to better align with RESO data standards, RESO data dictionary, at the database level, so that when a property is input into our system, when it's described to API vendors downstream, when it's pushed out to the multiple front ends, it's identical, they match. That also gave us the opportunity to become RESO API native. Back in the old system, we were a RETS-based system. Again, a very reliable standard, but we're looking to modernize and move much faster.
And our alignment with the standards were immediately recognized. This increased our attractiveness for MLS consolidations and also bring on front end of choice. You know, it's a huge multi-platform integration that doesn't happen overnight. We were able to create an environment that offered consistent experiences across multiple platforms, which increased the efficiency for our subscribers and the consumers. So the first thing that we achieved once we tackled this monumental project is we empowered our subscribers with choice. This created a marketplace of MLS products for our brokers and agents, and this also created vendor competition. It drove them to differentiate their product offerings and also to increase our subscribers' experience. This also allowed us to add a benefit to our subscribers that cross MLS boundaries. They belong to multiple MLS platforms, and they wanted to create a experience for their consumer that was seamless across platforms without going to a public portal. This also alleviated the burden on them for belonging to multiple platforms and MLS systems.
Yeah, we were able to streamline training. We were able to kind of keep people in ecosystems that they're familiar with on our fringe areas of the marketplace. Again, what did we, 2/3 of our subscribers have stayed with Paragon, but the other people have moved. And that really proves the value of the MLS vending machine. I'm a little far ahead. Again, over 1,300 subscribers have chosen to purchase a second or third front end of choice, generating an almost $400,000 estimated revenue annually. So that's a big deal, right? That's a substantial amount of money, but also a substantial amount of adoption. Standardization, again, I said, simplified our training, provided a consistent experience across platforms, and really gave us the ability for subscribers and participants to create an a la carte MLS system. So they can use our product offerings to differentiate themselves from their competition within our own MLS and also in the marketplace in general, creating a better value add for the realtor proposition, better value add for their brokerage.
Time for the lessons learned. We learned a lot. One thing that has stood out is we encountered API variants. And this was an issue because we were trying to push API and RETS through vendors that only accommodated one or the other. This was very difficult to overcome, and For the better, we've made improvements across the industry by kind of pushing the API implementation, but also figuring out how can we make it work with RETS until everyone else gets kind of moving in the right direction for API implementation. In addition, we had the monumental task of mapping non-standard data into the standards. We had decades of data across many platforms, conversions that we never really cleaned up, and it became very apparent very quickly. We had to spend months talking with ourselves, talking with our stakeholders, negotiating, trying to figure out, are these fields still valuable? Why did we even implement these in the first place? And how can we make it fit the standard?
If you've ever talked to a subscriber about why they feel a field should be what it is when it's different from the standard, you kind of understand that pain times a couple thousand fields. So that was the level of effort that we gave through. Again, one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest lessons we learned was communication. The scope and the scale of communication efforts, not only internally and externally to our subscribers, but also accurately communicating with the vendors themselves and downstream vendors as well. We really didn't understand or appreciate the scale of what we were asking for when we started out until we really got started. And you sit down and the day-to-day meetings go over this. Vendors had to create new tech and processes to keep the systems in sync. Kudos to our vendors. They have gone through monumental efforts to get our sync times down to keep the data consistent. So we really appreciate all the effort that all three of our platforms have put into this. And it really truly was a team effort. This was, again, the biggest undertaking we've ever done in an organization. We had to scale staff. We had to scale project management. We had to scale training. We had to scale our operations. We converted during this into a fully remote workforce. We have staff in 5 states and 2 continents, thanks to Alan. We really reorganized into a new MLS. And RESO Native was truly an investment. It was an investment in ourselves, in our marketplace, in our vendors, and in our subscribers. We, again, didn't fully appreciate the amount of work that went into this early on, but our team rallied around it. We came together and we moved forward.
So if we were ever to do this again, please no. But if we did learn the importance of having unique identifiers across platforms. This would have prevented a number of data collisions we encountered and only emphasized the need for more standardization when it comes to properties, agent records, and office records. In addition, we also found that there might be a little lack of depth in the standards when it comes to things like safe searches, but also media. We noticed that there was a lack of depth specifically around security settings when it came to photos, videos, and documents. For example, outdated systems like RETS don't really handle listing document security types very well that specify, is a listing public or is it private? And we plan to raise these lack of standards or these gaps, and we hope to solve them in the pain points session later today.
Again, going through this work and really focusing on the outcomes simplified a lot of our operational challenges. It gave us the ability to invest in transport, in data collection, and interoperability, and it truly has paid off. So it's kind of paving the way forward to be a future MLS. So just to simplify it, Doorify has become a more flexible, more agile MLS ecosystem. We've been recognized by RESO, CMLS, FBS for all the hard work that our teams, the award-winning Sam here, recently won an award at the FBS conference. We're trying to drive trends, not just follow them. And we built a strong foundation for future tools to help us stay competitive in the MLS marketplace. So thanks to RESO and everybody here for having us, and we'll turn it back over to Sam.